Good morning, my dear students. A very warm welcome to today's science class. Children, we have completed the chapter The Living Organisms, Characteristics and Habitat, and we had discussed about this chapter in detail. Today we are going to do the recap of this chapter. After today's class, you will be able to recall the habitat in which living organisms live and the way they adapt in that surrounding. You will also be able to classify things into living and non-living on the basis of characteristics found in living things. The keywords which we will be using are habitat, adaptation, desert, forest, grassland, plain, ocean, pond and river. This is an activity. You need to name the different plants and animals that is found in the habitat shown in the picture. So children, I want all of you to try out this activity. So the first picture is that of the mountain region, the second is that of the forest, the third is that of the aquatic habitat and the fourth is grassland. So children, please write down the names of different plants and animals that are found in these habitat shown in the picture. Now, what is environment? Everything that we see around us or everything that is surrounding us, whether it is living, non-living, physical or chemical, is called as environment. So, anything which surround us or whatever we see around us is called environment. There are components of ecosystem and those are biotic components and abiotic components. Biotic components are all the living things like plants, animals, and abiotic components are non-living things like temperature, soil, pressure, humidity. So, these two components combine together to form the ecosystem. Now, what is habitat and adaptation? The region or place where an organism lives is termed as its habitat. Habitat provides an organism everything it needs to survive like food, shelter, proper weather conditions such as rainfall, heat, etc. to breathe and flourish. On the other hand, adaptation is the adjustment of organisms to their environment in order to improve their chances at survival in that environment. So, all animals and plants have the capability to adapt with the environment or to adapt with the habitat where they are living. So, habitat and adaptations are interrelated. Now, what are the types of habitat? There are two main types of habitat, that is terrestrial habitat and aquatic habitat. Terrestrial habitat includes forest, grassland, desert, mountain. On the other hand, aquatic habitat includes ocean, sea, ponds. So, these are the different types of habitat found. Characteristics of living things. Living things can grow, respire, need food, they can move, they respond to stimuli, they excrete and reproduce. Living things grow and as a result the size of the living thing increases. Living things respire. Living things need food because food actually gives energy to the body. Living things can move from one place to another, but plants do not move from one place to another. They are fixed in one place and their parts move. Living things respond to stimuli. That means they feel. If we touch an hot object, we will feel the heat and we will remove our hand immediately. So, that means we are feeling and we are responding to stimuli. Living things also need to excrete the waste products from their body because accumulation of waste product is harmful for the body of living organism. So, this process is called excretion, and excretion is one characteristic of living things. Living things reproduce young ones or lay eggs in order to maintain the population of particular species or particular animal and plant. So, these are some of the characteristics of living things. Non-living things do not have any of this characteristic, and as a result, on the basis of this characteristic, we can divide things into living and non-living. There are some non-living things like bus, cloud that shows movement, but they do not show any other characteristic of living things, so we cannot consider those as living things. They are non-living things. Now children, let us discuss two questions. The first question is, which of the following is an incorrect statement about excretion? Excretion takes place in plants. Excretion takes place both in plants and animals. Excretion is the process of getting rid of excess water only. Secretion is one method of excretion. So we had already discussed about excretion. Now I want all of you to try to answer this question. The second question is, using the following picture, write the habitat of each animal given in the figure. So first you have to identify the animal and then you have to write down the habitat in which these animals are found. So these are the two questions which I want all of you to try to write down the answers. Today's homework is Me and Mine worksheet number 47. Children, I hope that all of you have understood the chapter clearly. Now let us summarize what we have learned. We have learned that the surroundings where plants and animals live is called their habitat. Several kinds of plants and animals may share the same habitat. The presence of specific features and habits which enable a plant or an animal to live in a particular habitat is called adaptation. There are many types of habitats. However, this may be broadly grouped as terrestrial on the land and aquatic in water. There is a wide variety of organisms present in different habitats. Plants, animals and microorganisms together constitute biotic components. Rocks, soil, air, water, light and temperature are some of the abiotic components of our surrounding. Living things have certain common characteristics with the help of which we can categorize things as living and non-living. So they need food. Living things need food. They respire and excrete. They respond to their environment, reproduce, grow and show movement. So this is all for today's class. I hope that this chapter is clear to all of you. Thank you and have a great day ahead.